Hey, homies, it's your girl, Miss IG, and welcome back to another episode of What is Upsetting Me and My Homies. I have a couple homies that are getting ready to join me in a minute. Before we get started, I wanted to give a shout out to Mace Training Facility in Virginia. I like to call it my hometown because my heart is always in Virginia. It is for lovers. It is a training facility ran by um, a man named Eddie L. Mason. And I don't want to just, box him in as he's a football player because he's motivational. I'm waiting for him to become a pastor because he's very motivational. So they sent me a bunch of swag. I had posted on my Facebook, but this is for the rest of the people who will be tuning in who are not on my Facebook. You'll see me wearing this shirt. I'll leave his information. I won't be greedy and not share him because, again, I went into this training facility and, I felt, at home. I felt, my conversations I had with him and his staff, they were, just really anointing. I felt like God's presence was in there. This is important to me in my journey with my walk with God. I know when I get on this podcast, we do a little cussing and shucking and jiving, but my roots are very spiritual. You hear me talking about God a lot. But I do live here in the real world, but this is real life. Maybe one day I'll be in politics or I'll be in ministry or something. But right now I'm definitely, walking the line, but my walk with God is strong. More than anything, that's what I appreciated the most about this. So, if you are ever in VA, if you are fortunate, VA is just that area. DMV area is like the capital of spirituality. I touched down, some weeks ago in North Carolina, and it just, as soon as I got there, I was just like, I'm home. I lived out there for a little bit, and I just felt like I was at home. I have a lot of God fearing and God loving people here in California, but we had to live our life a little bit differently. So, being in Bible Belt, just definitely makes you feel a little bit different, especially if you are a God loving person. So, again, check out Eddie L. Mason. If anything else, check him out on Facebook. He works with a lot of student athletes and, professional, and he's awesome. Check him out. So today, again, I will be with a few of my homies. I was hoping to get a lot more people to weigh in, but maybe this is a subject that we can't just talk about one time. This is a subject that we will need to talk about a few times because it's regarding, race and colorism. And, if we're talking about relationships, we need to keep it all the way real. And something I found out that, dating Black men especially, is that, we were taught, we don't even remember, but we were taught, this this thing about dating outside of our race or being more exotic or women that weren't as dark were mixed and they were more exotic and we were taught this this is a slave mentality. And I'm not saying that um I'm not saying that it's wrong to date a white woman or a light skinned woman. If you like, that's what you like. But this goes out to people who feel that these women are above a dark skinned woman, or they feel better walking into a room with a woman that's not black or lighter skin. Or it's this is it's such a touchy subject, and I actually reached out to Artie. I'm like, hey Artie, do you want to weigh on it? He was like, this is a touchy subject. So it's something that I definitely want to handle delicately, as I have friends from all backgrounds. And again, this is not to put anyone down. This is basically to just talk about that we're hurting out here as a community because we have been divided. We've been divided by sex, men versus women, and by color, social economic status. They've divided us in every single way that they can. And, by dividing ourselves by color, whether we're Black, whether we're Indian or Asian, or because this is in all of our communities, this is this, European thought process that, lighter is better, or because your hair is looser, we're getting into the natural, I love that, our girls are embracing, their natural hair, but it's still, when girls have looser curls, they have good hair. I don't know if anybody has ever heard of Chris Rock's documentary he did some time ago called Good Hair. They elaborated on a lot, but it's just one of those things that we talk about it and then it just gets swept under the rug. So live in California, where we're really just a melting pot. We're really mixed up. I had a girlfriend that I was friends with growing up, and she was mixed. She told me her father was Black and her mom was white. She told me that her dad once got into an argument with her mom and said, the only reason why that I'm married to you and had kids with you is because a Black man can't make it in America without a white woman. She's much older than me, and you'll hear some things. Some of my homies say, in regards to that. But I first of all I thought it was some cold stuff. But I do remember at a time where Black men really felt like that. I had another Black male friend who married a white woman, and he felt that he was able to get his position, his job, because he was married to a white woman. So, this was definitely something that was embedded. But now, this generation, the thing that I really do, and one of my homies does bring this up, we're in this generation where we're back thinking, that we're kings and queens, which is beautiful. We have so much wealth tied into this earth, between our spirituality, between what we're actually owed. So, we're starting to look out for each other for sure. And I appreciate it. But, I definitely still experience, the colorism aspect. Um, Being that I'm from California, well spoken and, grew up, in some affluency, I've probably been awarded some advantages, and being, a woman and being an attractive woman has definitely awarded me some advantages. But this applies to men as well, because I know my Black men have been overlooked because of their skin color, whether they're dark skin or they're light skin, because, it's really prevalent in our culture, especially right now, where we make fun of light skinned men. Light skinned men are soft, or whatever the case is, or and then the same thing goes for dark skinned men. If he's dark skinned, he must be a criminal, or he must be more hard, and he must be a killer or something. And none of these things are true. Me being a dark skinned woman, and not having the common European features, because when it comes down to it, most men who only date light skin, it's those features that you have been taught to covet. You've been taught to covet whatever those features are that are closely resemble a white woman. Same with the hair, everything, because and I would always tell men who dated white women or light skin, your mother looks like me, or your sister, or your cousin, your auntie, something. Quit playing. Just real talk. Like, let's keep it real. You'd be mad if somebody called your mom ugly. You know, let's just call it what it is. It's not my problem. Your colorism problem isn't my problem. It doesn't mean that I'm ugly or I'm less than, because the same men that are chasing down my beautiful light skinned women are chasing me down too. However, a lot of the childish mind thinking men feel that, their buddies are going to, be giving them a high five. Oh, you pulled you a red bone. The same rule applies for women when it comes to dark skinned men. A lot of women who don't want to date light skinned men, or don't want to. I know women who don't want to date dark skinned men. I know Black women that don't want to date Black men. So this colorism thing is really getting out of control. I think that personally, men of all colors, I've dated out of my race a few times before. I've definitely had tons of relationships with guys and girls out of my race. So I can tell you that they are all the same. And culturally, a lot of white men, Asian men do marry a lot more, so it may seem like they're a better catch or whatever the case. But these men are of all colors are getting married and cheating on their women, and doing all kinds of crazy things. So I just want to remind people of that. One thing, one of my closest guy friends told me, his mom told him, they're all the same. No matter what color they are all the same. Just pick the one that, you think treats you the best or maybe looks the best or whatever it is that you're looking for to fulfill your ego, and go. I like to think a little bit more evolved than that. I want to see my black men choosing someone who's going to help them grow and be the best them. But whatever the case is, whoever's going to make you the best you, um, that's who you should be with. And if you are with somebody and they make you feel good and your buddies don't think that they're cute, don't let that be the reason why you don't date them, because I've had many of women and men tell me someone I'm dating isn't really their type. Good. Oh, you don't like them? That means that I don't have to compete with you over them. Because trust me, if your friend gives you the high five, your friend, if they catch you slipping, they're gonna try to take your girl. Think about that. Think about that kind of thing. Everybody wants to have everybody around them like the way that their person looks. What about the way that they treat you? What about 5, 10 years down the line when she's no longer has that facade or he no longer has that facade? They're not playing that role anymore. People have to think for long term. A lot of these women, how they look, they've been surgically enhanced. What does the real her look like? So, we really have to go deeper and stop being so freaking shallow when it comes to, worrying about our friends, liking and accepting again. A story I'll bring up. So it just further lets me know it's a peer enhanced issue. So it's an insecurity. Most insecurities. There are certain people that bring out those certain insecurities in people, and so we'll elaborate it. But I just wanted to bring up those couple things before we got into the podcast. So thank you again for my homies that joined us, and for the homies that weren't able to join us. I hope that you enjoy, and maybe we can carve out some time another time. All right, homies. I hope you enjoy the show.
Who y'all talking to, man?
Hey, hey, homies. It's your
Check
girl,
it out.
Miss
Check it
Ivy.
out.
Welcome back to another episode
This
of
here goes out
Me and My
to all the niggas that
Homies.
be fucking mad
So
bitches.
I have brought some homies today. We have some important topics to talk about. I want to get straight to it, but I want my homies to introduce themselves first. So if you guys can unmute yourself and introduce yourself, that would be awesome.
I'm Bryce.
I'm Sade.
Hi, Sade.
Hi.
I'm Jeff Jones.
All right.
Mhm.
All right. So I know all of these people from all walks of life, all work, but they today I wanted to talk about something that has been on my mind. It actually just came up, and I thought it was kind of important to bring it back up. So the topic is in regards to um, dating in race, right? So let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. So I've had this issue before in the past, where I've had a man or woman, compare me to somebody, based on my skin color. So an example is long, long time ago, a whole nother life. I worked in the club, and a guy came in with he came in with his friends, and he was with some ball players. He was a friend. And so he was trying his hardest to, get my number. And I'm like, no, I'm not interested. So he told me that, I better hop on this train now. And if I didn't, that I'd be sorry because he planned to come back in and he was going to bring a badass light skinned broad in to make me jealous. And not another woman, but she was going to be a badass light skinned broad. And I was going to be super jealous of her. And, basically like insinuating just because she was going to be better than me, right? That was pretty much, the insinuation that I got. So this is, not the first nor the last incident I've had like this, but this is just something that I experienced. So again, like I said, it just came back up, the other day. And, especially with these two women, you are both, dark-skinned women, you're a man just in general. I know I'll let you speak for yourself, Jap, as far as, how you feel about this issue. But, I'm from California. So, we definitely deal with this. We are a melting pot. We have people of all nationalities, so we kind of get put against everybody. But, it's like right now, I'm worried about my community, my people, right? And, it kind of hurts our women. So I kind of just wanted some feedback from everybody. So whoever wants to get started. Are you guys unmuted? You guys unmute yourself.
I could go. So I've had a similar situation. Basically, starting young. I was like 19 and walking somewhere in Oakland, and someone was like, "Oh, so say, hey, dark skinned girl over there," and I'm just walking and not really tripping, and he was like, "Oh, so you cute to be dark skinned," and I'm just like, "Well, what is that supposed to mean?" So you go like through life, as a dark complexion woman, and you can actually just like, even at work, I know who is, attracted to all different type of women just by the way that they act. And most of the time when I did work with African American men, because I had a lot of jobs where there wasn't that many Black men there, but I did with them, it was more sexual thing,
Okay.
It was like more respect for the other women, but the Black girl, she'll let you rope up on her, and it's not a problem. So that's one of our situations.
Okay. Bryce, you want to weigh in, or Jason, Jap, do you want to weigh in? I know you for too long. Sorry.
Okay, Jason, Jap, it all works. I mean, I guess from my point, I'm from Louisiana, so I mean, for us, me personally, I don't care, light skin, dark skin. I mean, if I like you, I like you. I do know some friends who I have that they only date light skinned girls. I mean, that's their preference. Not that they don't think that the dark skinned girls are beautiful, vice versa. I got some homeboys who only date dark skinned girls, and they got their reasons for, they like what they like. So people are attracted to what they're attracted to. I mean, I'm out here in Idaho, so I'm Black, which is very rare. So I have people refer to me, oh, I hear somebody say, oh, you date the Black guy, and not that they're meaning it in, a negative way, but they're just like, I date the Black guy. And I've ran across, white girls who like, they only date Black guys. They won't date white guys, which to me, it's like, that's crazy. You don't date inside your own race, or like, not that you have to, but it's just, like me, I date whatever. If I like you, I'm attracted to you, we have a connection. So yeah, I mean, I do think it's weird that, he specifically thought that a light-skinned girl would make you jealous because, there are beautiful dark women, there are beautiful light-skinned women. So, I mean, I just think that was weird, and, he was just trying to make you jealous. I don't know.
Okay. Oh, I don't know where Bryce, she got dropped off. But so personally, I was talking to someone else earlier, and we know, that it's really like prevalent in our community that, it's that slave mentality, right? you know, it is. It comes down to it. Like you say, you like what you like, but there is a slave mentality to it, you know, when you think that the lighter you are, the better you are, right? So the um the example my friend gave me earlier was, you know, he had a friend that was dating a girl, and he was like, this woman is garbage, she's terrible, you know, she doesn't look good, she, you know, she's bad built, she doesn't even have a nice attitude. She's, but and then, you know, they live in Florida, and so, you know, he was like, but she red though, she's red, you know, like, just plain and simple, that's it. Didn't matter, you know, that she didn't have a good attitude, his friends, you know, didn't like her, but yeah, she's a red bone, right? So Jack, you better be 100. Keep it 100 on here. Because you from Louisiana, okay? You from Louisiana. We didn't have. Come on, man. I didn't know you since. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. You better come with it. You better.
Back on the red bone thing. I have a majority of my family is fair skinned.
Okay.
So it's not too many of us in my family that's, you know, a dark complexion.
Okay.
And I think also with colorism, it comes into effect where, like you said, it's like a self-hate thing.
Okay.
Where my little sister, her father is mixed with black and white. His mother is white. His father is black. He has so many issues because he wasn't white enough for the white folks and black enough for the black folks. So that trickled down to how he even raised his child. You know what I'm saying? Because he didn't even know basically what to do to discipline her, because how what she was going through was a little bit different too. My little sister had to fight every day because she was a light complexion, and it was just a problem. And all the girls that were fighting her were literally like dark complexion girls from West Oakland. I kid you not. And here I am. I can't really do anything about it. I mean, I can, but I'm like 20 some years old, and my little sister's in middle school.
Right.
You know, and people will come up to me when I'm with my father, and they would definitely think I'm his girlfriend because my daddy really looked like one of the Elge Barge. Okay.
Oh.
And it's like, they'd be like, so this your girl? You know what I'm saying? You'd be like, this is my grown ass daughter, you know? So I think it goes on both sides, but a lot of I feel like dark complexion women are more verbal about it, because I have a cousin that says, I don't talk to guys when I know that they just want to talk to me or date me because I'm fair skinned. And you would think that the women in my family are like totally mixed with white, like mother's white, but they're not. You know, my aunt.
Did that give you any kind of complex being in a family?
Oh, definitely. When I was growing up, my brothers, everyone in my immediate family was you know, lighter than me, and I was just questioning, like, why am I the dark one? You know what I'm saying? Like, my brother actually used to tell people that I was adopted.
Oh,
because he was lighter than I was. My little brother was lighter than what I was. My mother's lighter than me. My mother's lighter than me. And I'm just, you know, but I didn't look at my grandparents though, because my grandparents, which is my father's mother and my father's father, they're the same complexion as me. But because I'm at home, this is my immediate family. I used to be like, well, shit, I had to be better than everybody.
Right.
So I had to be better than my brothers. You know what I'm saying? I felt like at school, I had to be better than everybody. I had to be the smartest one at school, the fastest one, you know, on the team to run track. Like, I could jump. I used to play basketball, baseball, football. I was good at all of that because I'm just like, I needed some type of other, you know, recognition than me just being tall, dark, and skinny. With myself.
All right. All right. Yeah. Weigh in further.
Yeah. So I would say this. I feel like times have changed. I'll say that. So growing up in the 90s, I mean, light skin was everything, right? I mean, I know where I was from as far as guys and girls. You know what I'm saying? You had the little R&B groups, you know, mostly times, you know, the guy with the high top fade was light skinned. Most people like Kid, Morton Play, whatever it was, right? So I feel like times has changed though, because, and like you said, I remember going to school. I went to an all black private school from pre-K to seventh grade. So it's all black school. You know, I remember people wanting to go for the light skinned girls, you know, or, you know, they had better, it was an assumption that they had better hair because they were light skinned. However, I don't feel like it's like that anymore. And, you know, tall, dark, and handsome. That's a thing for the males.
For a man, yeah.
Right, for a man, you know. So I mean, I can't speak from a woman. I mean, you know, but I feel like it's changed. And even like when I talk to my friends back home, I mean, where I'm at right now, we don't have a lot of black women. So
yeah.
You know, but when I go home and I visit home and I talk to my friends back home, I mean, I know a lot of people, I mean, who are all about the dark skinned girls. I mean, they love it.
Oh, when I go to Louisiana, man, I be it. I'm like, hey, superstar.
Hi. Yeah, I go to like, I go to New York, you know, we fly, you know, travel. I go to America, and you know, but they have a whole nother colorism thing going there with the bleaching and all that stuff that's going on. But I like the South. When I did go down there, the appreciation for just women in general.
She said it with an F, the South.
Yeah. You know, so I went to school with white kids.
Yeah.
So I know it's like be in where I look at some white boy and I was like, oh, he's cute. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't see anything else. I didn't see any other black kids. But as soon as I seen somebody else that was like a little bit darker, I was like, wait a minute, he looked better. And he was Filipino. And I didn't even know, because I didn't know what a Filipino was. But I come to Oakland and go to school in Oakland from San Francisco Millbrae. It was a fucking culture shock, and I'm black.
Right.
And I was like, so what's up with all these black kids acting a goddamn fool? Oh. And why is everybody saying something about the way I look? Like, my mom gave me Bantu knots, and I was like, girl, if you don't take these Bantu knots, I can fight everybody.
They wasn't ready for that here. They weren't ready for
you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I had to do things like, as long as my hair was done,
yeah,
I didn't have a problem.
See, right?
Like, because if your hair is not done as a black woman, you're unkept. And then on top of that, they're gonna call you black nappy headed ass whatever. So this is the reason why, girl, I know how to do hair today. Because I was like, ain't nobody gonna be out here calling me all these type of motherfucking names. I tell you that they was fighting. I remember the day I was in the 8th grade. They was fighting in the street, and I had this little Afro puff, little something I had, and my hair was all a mess. This man said, get your black nappy headed ass out the street. And from that day forward, girl, I was up in there, girl, laying them edges down back a long time ago. So a lot of things people say to you as far as your skin complexion and what you look like, that shit travels with you as an adult, you know? And I think, you know, how you say now today's is different. It's not different. Even in the workforce, like I said, you know, the level of customer service that I do is a little bit different than like walking in Target or Walmart, which you can also get profiled. But even, you know, as a black flight attendant or just working in the airline industry, as a black woman, me just standing there saying, oh, I'm sorry, I won't be able to help you with that. You got an attitude. Because you state some type of authority and you stand firm, but you can't be firm or have some type of authority as a dark complexion black woman without having attitude. Because my other friends can say the same thing, but it's like, oh, go get Sade with her big black ass. She'll set all these motherfuckers straight, you know, because I'm fucking 5'9", you know, 230 pounds. And they looking at me like she about to shut all this shit down. I'm like, look, I'm not about to put all these fires out for y'all because I'm supposed to be the sheriff around this motherfucker because I'm tall and motherfucking dark. Y'all think that I'm about to like, I'm sensitive too. I'm sensitive too. I got feelings. I just, because I'm tall, and dark, I just gotta be Debo.
Girl, but that's what they do expect. Seriously, I've had people be like, "You don't really talk like that. Talk how you really talk." Excuse me.
When I moved to Oakland, they was like, "Why you sound like a white girl?" And I was like, "Well, what does that mean?" I was like, I didn't know what it meant. I'm like, "What are you talking about?" So I had to change my whole direction of how I spoke. Like I had to cuss and hell shit. I didn't like to say bitch. Everybody a bitch today. I didn't say anything vulgar because that was not what we did.
I'm gonna be trying to bleep a lot.
My bad, you tell me I couldn't cuss.
Oh, my bad.
I mean?
Passionate.
I had to learn. I had to be hard. Like I literally had to be hard here because that's just how it is. So even as a flight attendant, a dark complexion flight attendant, some white girl looked at me and she was like, "Oh, I used to get dressed up," and I looked at her. I'm in the jump seat, and we going to Jersey, and I looked at her. I said, "Oh no, honey, this is me."
Every day.
So you already clocking me before I even got on the plane. Honey. It's there. It's there. And it's like, oh, now, white women dating black men, they think they got hood points. And I'm like, girl, you not belong to the streets. Please stay where you at. I like your little mulatto kids, but
Not the mulatto.
You do not have
mulatto.
You don't understand what I'm going through because the day they lay that man down on the ground and arrest him, you don't know what none of that means.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Working in corporate is hard. I deal with that stuff with it, all the time. Especially with the way I talk, I have to come in, I have to be extra, because I'm like, I'm either super nice or you can see the other side, but I can't bring the other side because I'm gonna be fired. I'm gonna be in trouble. It's gonna be different, So I got to do it the corporate way. So this is very, very, very tough. Just coming in, RBF, resting bitch face, right? When I come in, I'm either smiling or RBF. RBF, yeah, I'm a bitch. Or if I'm smiling, I'm gonna take advantage of her. She's not, So it's a tough position to be in. We have to play a lot of positions that other people don't have to play. Everybody, gets to play a certain position, but we have to play, like you said, from the time we're little, we have to play a whole bunch of different positions that other people, don't have to play. So, it can be exhausting. By the time you get to be an adult, you're just like, I'm tired of this. I'm so sick of it. So, the other day I was with my friend somewhere, and he on normal basis has been my friend for some time, and so I was telling him I was going to record a podcast with a friend of mine, and we had talked about it. He knew who it was because we had talked about it for some time. We were actually going to go do the recording at his house, and so it bothered me because when we got around his other friends, now he has another friend that's like in the sports league. I'll just say that, sports world. And so he kept on asking, he's like, your friend, you mean that light-skinned girl? And I was like, why do you keep on saying that? Like, he wanted to make it prevalent to his friend who works with athletes that, oh, she has another friend and she's light-skinned. And, I'm just like, okay, you ain't never acted like this before. Why are you acting like this? And I said something to him. He's like, oh, you're tripping. I'm like, no, I know you and I know what you're doing. And I know, I'm grown as hell, So I know what that's about. And I know how these kind of guys think. So growing up, as a young adult, I've dealt with men from all walks of life, but I've especially known that athletes, even more so basketball players which is why I usually always gravitated towards football players. Basketball players, they had a whole different mind frame, or maybe it's the people around them. Everyone has, this mind frame. It's a hood mentality, a slave mentality. But, these, professional men with money, they, a lot of them kind of felt like, and I'm going to ask Jason to talk on this because, this is his world, right? So a lot of men, they get money and they kind of switch up, right? And feel like, I need to have a trophy. I need to have, this, whether it's, light skinned or white or, exotic, right? So forget about us, she's, not good looking enough. Or maybe for me, I had, oh, well, you're the exception, you have nice hair, you have this, you have that, something coveted. So, but that doesn't make me feel good because I'm lumped up. I'm still dark. I'm still lumped up. And as soon as you get mad at me, I'm ugly too. I'm ugly and black or whatever it is. So, I mean, again, so Jap, can you elaborate on that a little bit? Because, um, yeah, I know you dealt with that.
Yeah, so I mean, I would say this. First of all, like when I get mad, like everybody's unattractive, whoever I'm mad at. It don't matter what you look like. I'm never like, oh, you beautiful, you good looking. Like I don't argue like that. Like that's not my style. I can't for basketball. I guess I would say that basketball players, especially on the college and professional level, they deal with more international teammates and stuff like that. Like in football, everybody's from America for the most part. Everybody's from within the 50 states. In basketball, like when I came to school at Idaho State, had a lot of people from Europe, girls and boys. So I don't know. I don't know why they go for that. I would say in the football world, I've had teammates who say stuff like, well, the white girls treat us better. That's what they say, stuff like that. I had teammates said, not me personally. Once again, I live in Idaho. So when I was in Louisiana, I never dated outside my race just because it was like Louisiana in the 90s, early 2000s. It was like, it was frowned upon heavily. So when I moved to the Bay Area, '06, '07, like that was my first time like being able to even consider dating outside my race and like people not want to like kill me for it. I remember when I first got to Chabot, I had teammates, I'll see them walking around with white girls and I'm like, yo, what the hell you doing? Like, you can't do that. And one of my boys, his name was Randall. I remember like it was yesterday. It's like, oh no, man, it's Cali. It's cool. Don't worry about it.
Where's Randall from?
Randall, I don't know. He's from Cali, but I don't think he was from Hayward,
Okay.
but he was from Cali.
Okay.
So I remember him saying it. He was like one of the first people I seen walk around with a white girl. I'm like, oh, that's legal. You can do that. You can try something new. It's like the first time you find out you can get melted cheese. It's like, oh wow, you can do something different.
Right.
So for me, and like till this day, like I mean, so then I moved to Idaho, obviously. So I mean, Idaho, the population is, it's white people, right? All the black people out here are pretty much ex-athletes, or we have some people who came to school from Africa and decided to stay out here, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I date what I like. If I find a black girl and I like her and we got a connection, I date her. Mexican, Polynesian, white, whatever. I mean, really at this point, I don't see color. But from other people, speaking from other people, I heard teammates say like the white girls are cooler. The black girls are mean. They don't make them feel like, they're supposed to feel. I've heard people use those type of reasons. So I'm not even going to lie in front and say that I don't feel like a lot of athletes does go towards the white girls, but I think it's more of a personality thing rather than a look thing. You know what I mean? So I think it's not that. Huh?
I believe that maybe. I would say that about white women maybe, because I know there's a lot of women who've been, trained to play the role. Right. So they get that ring. But the light skin thing, absolutely not. That's a mentality. That's the light skin girl is the mentality that light skin is better. Oh, now I can, when I was in, grade school, light skin girls didn't look my way. They were looking for other pretty boys, right? Because, black men still have that same complex. A lot of black men have that same complex where they got looked, over for, the quote unquote pretty boys. And so they're like, we don't do it now,
green eyes, the light skin with the green eyes and all that. And I think to piggyback up on the athletes from a couple of documentaries that I watched, I think that before in earlier days, white women were considered untouchable. And, now that, black men have the opportunity to date white women is something like a trophy to them, because they were untouchable. You couldn't date a white woman. There was nothing that you get seen with a white woman, and you end up dead, or in jail or something like that. So I just feel like when it comes to the athletes, I just really, I mean, like, you love who you love. Me personally, I tried to date an Asian man. It was too much. I tried to date a Latin man. He was too much, too clingy. I just I just feel more comfortable dating a black man. I can't do the vanilla beans. That's what I call them. Call white men the vanilla beans. I can't do them.
So do you have a preference in light skin and dark skin men? Do you have a preference?
When I was younger, I did have a preference. And it was just like, okay, so you the running back style, all right, tall, dark, but as I got older, I just I basically kind of switched up. So it was like, I'm 5'9". I didn't go for the small, short guys either. But now that I'm like, over 30, I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna love who loves me.
Right.
Because at that point in time, it's too much. It's too much. So I was only into dark skinned men at one point in time, because I just felt like if you were light complexion, any flaw that you had, you could see it. So
on the skin, you mean?
Yeah, any flaw. Like if you had to be fine as hell.
I would be trying to tan, like, because I'm like, you see all these.
I'm just saying, like, period. You could see all these imperfections. Like I felt like if you were a light complexion, that you had to be hella fine. Like you couldn't just be okay. Like I feel like a dark skinned man could be okay because of his complexion.
Just lick the chocolate.
Right. I was like, oh, you got a scar on your face? Oh, what you do? You sorry? What you was doing?
In prison? You was in prison?
What you do? But let me see a light skinned dude with a dark face. Like, what is wrong with you? Did you fall? But nowadays I'm just like, my boyfriend right now, he's a little bit lighter than me, but he's not like as dark as me. He will look at my old picture and be like, why you look so, what you look weird or something. I'm like, what? Why can't you just say that, black women look exotic too? And he was like, well, that was the word I was going for. I said, so why didn't you just say it?
Say that then.
Yeah, say that. Say that this, there was a certain way that I looked like exotic. I said, what, like mesmerizing? When you look into someone's eyes, like, why can't you just say that? But you want to say that, you can't say that about me because I'm a black woman. I'm an African American woman. I can't be mesmerizing. I can't be exotic. Like there can't be nothing different about.
I would find that from like a lot of white men. They like to say that we are exotic or whatever. But I mean, I've heard it from from black men too. One thing I
But you know what? I feel like white men, they also feel like they
what? You cut off. Oh, you said white men what? Oh. I really was hoping, I don't know what happened with my girlfriend, but something she said to me the other day, like, broke my heart. She was just like, she never had a good relationship with a black man. And so she has been dating a white man, who, takes really good care of her. And she was like, have you? And I was just like, yeah. However, I have to say that these relationships that I've had with black men that are good are usually like my friends. Some of them, even from, maybe men that I've dated before, we're friends now, or we're just men that were just straight up friends. So I've been, pretty fortunate in that department. However, when I think about our actual, like the relationships, the men that I really went hard for, like for, whatever amount of time, I'm like, maybe, afterwards we settle our differences, things were cool. But like, I've definitely had, some toxic relationships with black men. I won't say that they're bad. I know that I'm probably, pretty easy. I'm pretty easygoing as far as people go until you piss me off. And then that's a whole different story. If you piss me off, then, you know, it's on. But, you know, then the streets come out. But other than that, you know, I grew up, you know, in peace and not a lot of turmoil. I did have drama. I did have to fight, but I learned how to compartmentalize things and different things. But, you know, that kind of broke my heart, you know, her saying that, you know, she hadn't had one positive relationship with a Black man. So I just kind of want to say that we need to do better. We only have like a couple minutes. So before we go, I just wanted, Jason, before you go, what's going on with your shirt there?
Well, you know, this is Cut to Quit original, cheap debt not sets. You know, that's my company, that's my brand, you know, pretty much fitness, motivational, lifestyle. That's what we do. You can check the Instagram out at Cut to Quit, positivity only.
There we go. All right, Shredder, do you have any, girl, is that a wedding ring? Don't let me find out you up and got married. Okay, is that the wrong hand? I don't even know how.
Not a wedding ring. This is not a wedding ring. No, but I could piggyback on you with the whole relationship thing. I haven't had a lot of positive relationships, you know, and with a lot of Black men, I just feel like I don't want to give up on them. Yeah. And like I said, it's just something about Black men that just keeps me going. Yeah. I did have a conversation with my boyfriend, and he was just like, look, you got to understand what's going on. He said in the 80s, they done kicked the man out the house and said, hey, you can't get no assistance if this man is here. So, you know, it's kind of set the tone for a Black woman to be like, hey, I'm strong. I don't need you here. I got shit going on here. So, you know, it's just a whirlwind of just hatred. And trying to love each other, and no one even knows how to do that.
We have to heal, and we need to heal together. Even if we're just going to be friends, we need to learn how to love each other. It's really important for us to understand that, you know, we are separated from white, Black. We're separated by so many things. We can't continue to separate ourselves by color. We are all Black, all the same, all love each other. Love whoever you love, date whoever you want to date, but please stop putting your dark-skinned women down just to make your other, you know, your white queen, your light-skinned queen, your whatever queen, make them feel better. They may feel insecure. Don't use us as bait to make them feel better. And, you know, I promise to do the same. That's it. All right, homies.
I will keep you in perfect peace. All whose mind stayed on me. I will keep you in perfect peace. All whose mind stayed on me. Remember, the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, the whole world and they that dwell therein. All belong to him who he has made us. He watches me. So why should I be bound when God has set me free? Can you tell me why, tell me why. When Jesus died for you and me. This is what he's done. He has